Now, the next part in the books is about the characteristics. Of course, you've been a GW game and a Warhammer, fantasy game. You've got to be able to know what kinds of characteristics are better than others and such and so forth. And basically, from your packs, you get a characteristic card, and you'll lay them out for your ships. Now, this happens to be the Swordfish, which is the Blackfish, and it's got speed, hull, crew, broadside, handling, and armour, and it's got special attacks. And then you've got the actual captain with the command of 3+, swashbuckling of 3, and blessed of Manan here, which allows you to do some kind of special rule. The ship itself, the speed, is, of course, it's how far it moves. Now that will be allowed, the Swordfish will be allowed to move 12 inches, as you can see there. But the way these things move is slightly different, because they can change course, but they can only change course within certain respects. Because of the random nature of this game and the fact that sea monsters may come up and sink your ships and the like, or if you've had damage which has been able to affect this, if your speed value goes down to 0, of course you've got a great big ship which is going to sit there and is unable to move. The next thing is the hull, and that's basically the amount of lives that it's got. So if you've got 3 hull points and you lose all 3, then you've basically sunk. The same goes with the crew, but that's more for the swashbuckling and sort of boarding of people's ships and the like. The broadsides, those represent the cannons and the amount of 6-sided dice you can actually roll if you're firing from one on your port side or your starboard side, and so on and so forth. Handling goes with your speed. Handling basically this the amount of inches that are required for your ship. Whilst it's trying to make a turn, it has to move those amount of inches. So as you can see, the Swordfish, if it moves forward and it's got to turn, it's like a turning circle in a car. It has to move forward a part and then is able to turn after that. Now, this is very, very important in this game because there's a lot of scenery in the sea, and of course there's effects from wind and things like that, which means that even though you're trying to turn, you might not have any kind of luck, and your ship may run aground regardless of where you've started off or how you've tried turning. So, of course, the lower the handling value, the better it is. The armour, well, that speaks for itself. That's the cover save that you get from being attacked with broadsides and being shot at, basically. There you go, the attack of the sea monster wanting to play Dreadfleet. Right, now that we've covered several things, it's now to cover the main thing, which is the game turn, and can be found on pages 22 and 23. Proof's in the pudding. Basically, there are several phases that you have to deal with, 5 all in all, and you basically take turns as like you normally do. That's it, go on, sea monster, bugger off. Go on, off you go, go on. Go on, Milo, go on, good boy, that's it, good grief. Everywhere I go. Anyway, so basically we've got different phases. Now, phase number 1 is an important phase because it doesn't necessarily state who is going first every subsequent time. Now, what I do is I get the dice, and I shall show you, for example, basically, we just basically leave those there, and we'll take the red and the white. Player 1 is red, player 2 is white. Now what you do is each player rolls off at the start of each new phase, and as they roll off, one flies completely off screen and the other one goes here. Right. So the red player has got 2 and the white player has got 6. Basically, the white player's won and they get to go first. Now, if it's turn 2, if we try again, the red player's got 6 and the white's got 3, so therefore white goes first. Red goes first. And then if we do it again, white goes first for the next time. Can we get another one? That's red again, there we go, and red again. So basically for the last 3 phases, red has been able to go first. And it basically means that they are player 1 and then the other person's player 2. But the initiative phase basically means who is going first that phase. It's not for all the way through the game, it's just that one phase. So you could find that your luck is on your side and you're able to go first nearly every time during the game, or it could be the opposite way around, of course. Now the next phase is phase number 2, which is status, and it basically says that this phase is where you take stock of the situation. So you've rolled off, you've got the initiative, let's say this one's got initiative, and you think, right, let's take stock of the situation, what can I do? Well, I might go in to attack that, I might go to board that, I might do this, might do that. It doesn't matter. But basically, this is where if you've got any effects affecting your ship, whether it is an ongoing status card or a fate card, which is a stays in play type of thing, you will deal with those things, and then your next person will deal with their things, and then you basically move on to number 3. So you deal with all your status and what have you, and then you go to number 3, which is the fate, and then you choose another fate card, which those are damage. There we go, we got the fate cards here. And basically, you choose a fate card, and then your player number 2 chooses a fate card. So let's take one at random. There we go. And I guess this will be the 7 of clubs. There we go. Sea Sirens. Out of the corpse coral comes a haunting song that lures those who hear it to their doom. Randomly select a Grand Alliance ship. That warship's captain must take a command check. If he doesn't, then basically he takes a damage card and so on and so forth. So basically, you've done that, player 1's done that, and if he's on the Dreadfleet side, then he's laughing, because then that means the fate has gone against the Alliance ships, and then the Alliance player says, right, okay, then what's this? Old rope. The warship's quartermaster emerges triumphant from below decks, ropes in either hand. If there was a warship that suffered more speed damage than any other, it may get rid of 1 speed damage card. Now that is, again, for the Alliance person, and he says, okay, so 2 fates, as you can see, has affected the Alliance player. Now, once you've done that, then you swing into action. And you go through all of your ships, and this is the sort of meat to the bones of the game. This is when you get to move your ships, as you would do your models in Warhammer or 40k. And it's a turn-based thing yet again, and you section down into 4 different subsections, subphases. You have the orders phase, where if you wish to attempt an order, these type of cards here, they've got order on the top, the repair and so on and so forth. You do that, and you might have to take your necessary command checks. If say you're okay with that, then basically you go to your movement subphase, and that's moving your ship, your chosen ship, and you do your broadsides, that's shooting, and then boarding actions afterwards. So basically, break it down to the situation is you have to activate a ship. So say we haven't done anything with this one, we say, right, okay, now I'm activating this one. Orders on it, no, it's not taking any damage, whatever, that's fine. I'm going to move it along here, wallop, there we go, but it's moved in a specific way. I'm going to move it along there to broadside open on that. Now, he can then say, right, okay, then I'm going to move. So say he basically goes along there, he fires or gets close enough and is able to board, then you have hand-to-hand fighting taking place, and the such happens. As I've already stated, oh no, here comes the sea monster again. Wait, get off. Thank you. As I've already stated once before, you'll take it in turns. So basically, you'll say, right, okay then, I move that one, I fire that one, I do whatever. Then the alliance player says, I move that one, I fire that one, and do whatever. Then, if the Dreadfleet player has got more ships than the alliance, or vice versa, then you basically say, right, I'll move that one, fire into that one, do whatever. Or if as I said, if you've got more, so say there's another ship here which happens to be Dreadfleet, he'll move that one as well because he can only move one. So the turn taking, you take in turns through your game, but if you're left with a surplus of ships compared to your opponent, then you basically don't have to worry about the turns, so to speak. Every time I turn on the camera, cat, you are there. Go. Right, basically, now as we've already seen, around here is a golden edging to your playing surface, and as you can see, if I can get my fingers in because it's zoomed in, you've got 4 and 6. Now, yeah, good cat, go on. Now basically, if we can move you out. What are you doing, cat? Go on. Go on. You can't play Dreadfleet. You haven't learned the rules yet. You haven't watched the video. Go. Anyway, basically, well, oh dear. Oh, he's coming to give me a loving, isn't he? Oh, come on in. You silly bugger. Can you hear this? There we go. Right. Now, what we have around the edge are numbers which correspond to where the wind goes. Now this is your wind token. The arrow on it is nothing more than decorative, so it doesn't have any real meaning. And basically at the very start you will roll with your friend the red die and the white die, one each, and you basically say, right, okay, then let's hope I get a 4. That was wonderful, excellent. 4 and a 6. So we go to the 4 and the 6th position, which just happens to be right there. How lucky is that? Now, this shows us the direction which the wind is blowing. So it's basically blowing from this direction. Now, if you've got a sail ship, it is important. If you've got a different kind of powered ship, because there's one that has a magical winds, and there are the 2 dwarf ones which are powered by motors, but those come on later. If you have a ship like the Swordfish here, it will be affected by the wind. But an important aspect with the fate cards would be the bottom right hand corner of the actual card themselves. If I can pick you down there, cat. Good boy. Oh, there we go. Now, these numbers are very important, and they show, hopefully we can get you into focus, fantastic. It shows a direction where the wind goes. It's either clockwise, as in this case, or anti-clockwise, and basically it shows a number down there. Now we'll just deal with this one at the moment, because if we take a look at where our positioning is here, we're at 4-6, and player number 1 in our previous example picked up the Sea Sirens, player number 2 picked up the old rope. Now the Sea Sirens person went first, so they basically moved this in a clockwise motion around the playing board, so to speak, 4 positions down. So it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4. And you most likely really aren't going to be able to see that, so I shall move you across. So as you can see, it is now there. Now, because the other person has gone, and they've taken a card, the old rogue card, that is anti-clockwise 1. So basically, this one finishes there for that turn. So the wind is basically moving in this direction. Now, I personally think, although I could be wrong, that the direction of the wind isn't sort of basically coming along this way and there's nothing else there. I think the arrow would be pointed towards the centre as it goes round the actual border. So basically, the way I read it is that we've got wind coming from along this direction. The strength of the wind is on the final card which has been left on the pile, on your discard pile of your fate cards. So basically you say, right, okay, then I've got this is the final card, that's 3. Now, that strength either acts with you or against you if you are a sail ship. And in these following ways. So let's say we've got the swordfish and it's moving along this way. Now, so we can remember, the swordfish moves 12. Now the swordfish, because of the last order, we'll leave that one there, not that we'll ever see it, because of the strength of the wind is 3 inches extra along in this direction, this ship has to move at least 3 inches, but it can move up to its maximum 12 plus 3. Also, you have something known as full steam ahead, but that's something to deal with. So, on moving, and I don't really want that one there. Oh, that was good, wasn't it? I don't really want that one there, or a cat's tail. So basically, let's move this one back here. So the wind is in the sails, and basically, yes, that's it. It's a wind astern. Now, this ship, as I said, can move 12, so let's move its full 12. You will take it from one position, and that position will be relayed onto the ending position. So something like that. That's your 12 inches. Of course, you don't go right 12 there and then finish there. So you go right. I'm just moving to that. You can move a reduced amount if you want to. That's neither here nor there. But whatever the wind is, you must move it. If you have no value on your wind strength, then you assume it to be the number 1. Okay, so there's always a little bit of wind. So basically, this one moves along the 12, and now I can move it at plus 3 to 15 because of the extra wind, and that's fantastic. Now, this ship has a handling of 4, and when we deal with the actually no, we won't deal with that just yet.